Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving straight into what is, literally, the ultimate hero's journey. We're going to unpack the wild story of how a simple childhood obsession completely transformed into a global empire, an empire that fundamentally reshaped how every single one of us lives and works today. We are looking at the Odyssey of Bill Gates. And look, this isn't just some boring history lesson, okay? This is a masterclass for anyone out there who wants to build something truly monumental from the ground up.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever been labeled, too different, too intense, or maybe even too nerdy just because you were entirely dedicated to your passions? Well, if you're an aspiring entrepreneur, chances are you absolutely have. But did you know that the boy who spent hours just buried in books and glued to a screen, the kid people really didn't quite understand, would grow up to found one of the largest tech companies in human history? The massive obstacles he faced started way before he ever wrote a single business plan.
Section 1. Passion over expectations. Defying the safe path. The very first major obstacle almost every true entrepreneur has to face is protecting their vision from the people who just want to keep them safe. And you can see this clear, undeniable tension in Gates's early life. Born in 1955 to a lawyer father and a social worker mother, the expected path for him was super stable and prestigious. Go become a lawyer. But his passion? It lay entirely in this uncharted, risky, and, at the time, completely obscure world of books and computers. He literally had to make a choice between what everyone expected of him and the thing he just couldn't stop thinking about.
That passion truly caught fire at just 13 years old. I mean, think about what a computer actually was back then. They definitely weren't sitting in our pockets. They were massive, extremely rare, and incredibly expensive machines. But when he finally got the chance to see his first computer at school, he was hooked. He spent hours upon hours just learning to program. He found his true calling at an age when, let's be honest, most of us are just trying to figure out how to survive middle school.
And because of this intense, laser-like focus, people actually mocked him. They called him different and too studious. But hey, if you're building a company right now, you need to reframe this immediately. These early labels weren't insults. They were the ultimate badge of honor. To build something great, you absolutely have to possess the sheer focus required to just block out the noise of the doubters. He didn't try to change his behavior to fit in. He doubled down on the exact thing that made him stand out.
Section 2. The ultimate entrepreneurial risk. Taking the terrifying leap.
Now, passion alone isn't going to build an empire, right? Eventually, you have to jump headfirst into the unknown. During his school years, he formed this absolutely crucial friendship with Paul Allen, and together, they formulated the impossible dream, a computer in every home. We totally take this for granted today, but you've got to understand the reality of the 1970s. Computers were strictly reserved for the military, massive governments, and giant corporations. They literally took up entire rooms. The idea that an average family would just have one sitting on a desk, it was considered absolutely crazy. But they saw a future that literally no one else could see.
So he acted on that vision. He eventually enrolled at Harvard University, but his mind, it was still busy writing code, not studying for exams. When a massive opportunity finally presented itself, he took a terrifying leap of faith and dropped out of Harvard. Just think about the pressure of that for a second. Leaving one of the most prestigious institutions in the world to chase a wild idea. People said he would fail. But true entrepreneurs, they completely ignore the critics predicting their downfall when they know in their gut the timing is right.
Section 3. Building with zero resources. The gritty startup reality.
Dropping out was really just the beginning of the struggle. Think about how insanely rapid this evolution was. Born in Seattle in 1955, discovering his first computer at 13, and boom, by 1975, founding Microsoft with Paul Allen. In just a few short years, he went from this curious teenager to the founder of a tech company that was trying to build a completely new industry totally from scratch.
But let me tell you, founding the company was far from glamorous. If you're deep in the entrepreneurial grind right now, you know exactly what this reality looks like. They had almost zero resources. It was this relentless day and night quest to build better software out of sheer willpower. They worked around the clock, coding, debugging, sleeping at their desks, and just pushing themselves to the absolute limit. There was no safety net at all, just an unshakable belief in what they were building.
Section 4. The game-changing strategy. Engineering the breakthrough.
Okay, so hard work is definitely necessary, but strategy? Strategy is what scales a business to the moon. And this specific strategy separated Microsoft from literally every other struggling startup of that era. Step 1. They secured the massive opportunity to provide an operating system for IBM. But step 2 was the absolute masterstroke. Instead of just selling the software outright to IBM, Gates showed incredible foresight. He adopted a licensing model. He kept the rights, which seamlessly led to step 3, expanding to all PC makers. They could now license that exact same software to anyone building a computer. It was genius.
The result of that single, flawlessly executed strategy was pure exponential growth. Because of that licensing model, as other hardware manufacturers started flooding into the market, guess what? They all needed Microsoft software. Soon, Windows became a globally popular phenomenon, practically taking over the world in just a few short years. He didn't just build a cool product, he built the invisible infrastructure that everything else ran on.
Section 5. Redefining massive success, beyond the billions.
But the story doesn't end just when the bank account fills up. By the 1990s, Microsoft was the world's largest software company, and Bill Gates was counted among the richest people on the entire planet. But he realized pretty quickly that financial accumulation just wasn't enough. So he shifted his intense focus to philanthropy, meaning using that massive wealth and those endless resources to actively solve global crises in education, health, and poverty. Alongside his wife, he established the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to give away billions of dollars to solve some of humanity's absolute toughest challenges.
So what emerges is this fascinating dual legacy. On one side, you have the relentless tech innovator who built a fiercely competitive business empire. And on the other, the global philanthropist dedicated to massive societal impact. It really shows us that true lasting entrepreneurial success isn't just about what you can build for yourself, but ultimately about the massive return you can offer back to society.
Section 6. The Entrepreneur's Blueprint. Lessons for your journey.
All right, let's bring it all together and extract the core lessons from Gates' Odyssey. Think of this as the ultimate blueprint for startup success derived from this incredible story. Number 1, don't fear big dreams. Seriously, if your vision doesn't sound at least a little bit crazy to other people, it's probably not big enough. Number 2, keep learning new things. That childhood curiosity, it has to remain alive every single day. Number 3, take risks at the exact right time. Whether it's ignoring your critics, leaving school, or pivoting your whole business model, you gotta jump when that window opens. And number 4, give back to society. Always remember that the ultimate goal of gaining resources is to leverage them to make the world a better place.
Well, thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer. I really want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. They told Bill Gates he would fail. People mocked him, they doubted him, and they begged him to just take the safe road. When they say the exact same thing to you, and look, if you're an entrepreneur, they definitely will, for sure, how are you going to respond? What impossible dream will you build?